Hi, and thanks for tuning in another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be talking about our first lesson, Lesson 1.0, Chapter Opener. We're going to be talking about different properties today, so we will be writing down a few different vocabulary terms. Make sure you have 8 things written down in your notes for today. We are going to start by going onto the first page and looking at our first property. When you're looking at your videos, you're going to see these lime green circles. Those are going to be the circles that represent the number that you're supposed to be writing down. Let's get started. The first thing we're writing down is the associative property of addition and multiplication. What we're looking at are these two examples where the parentheses are being moved, but the value is not changing. The definition of the associative property of addition and multiplication says that changing the placement of the parentheses does not change the sum or the product. Go ahead and take time now to pause the video, write down what you see on the slide, including the title, examples, and definition. Click play when you're ready to move on. The next one we have is number 2, commutative property of addition and multiplication. This just essentially means when you change the order of the add-ins, things that you add, or the factors, things that you multiply, it won't change the sum or the product. Sum means adding, product means multiplying. So up here in our examples, 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2. Or 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. Go ahead and pause the video, write down the title, examples, and definition, and then click play when you're ready to go on. The next one we have is number 3, the addition property of 0. This is the identity property, which just means when you add something with 0, it is always going to remain that same value. So 2 plus 0 is equal to 2. The addition property of 0 means adding 0 does not change the value of a number. Pause the video now to write down the title, example, and definition. When you're done, click play to go on to number 4. Number 4 is the multiplication property of 0. Anytime you multiply by 0, it will result in a product of 0. So 16 times 0 is 0. Let's pause the video now to write down title, example, and definition. Click play when you're ready to go on. Number 5 is the multiplication property of 1. This is the identity property as well. Anytime you multiply something by 1, it will not change the value of that number. So 21 times 1 would be 21. B times 1 will just be B. Go ahead and pause to write down the title, examples, and definition. Click play when you're ready to move on. This next one you're going to try by yourself. What you're essentially going to try to do is simplify the expression. I'm going to show you how to do letter A, and then I'm going to pause it, or you're going to pause the video and try B and C. Simplifying means trying to get the numbers together that can be added or multiplied. I know that the 3 and the 8 can be going together because they're both numbers. So what I'm going to do first is show the commutative property and get both 3 and 8 close together. Then I can show the associative property by moving the parentheses and finally adding them. 3 plus 8 is 11, so my answer will be 11 plus B. Go ahead and take time now to pause the video and try option B and C. Click play when you're ready to check your answer. So to do letter B, we have D plus 4 in parentheses and then plus 6. I'm going to show the associative property so I can group 4 and 6 together, associating them with one another because they're numbers and I can add them together. So 4 plus 6 will give me 10, so my answer for letter B will be D plus 10. Letter C is a little bit different because you notice there's no addition sign. Instead, I'm just going to be multiplying because whenever something pushed right against one another, that just means to multiply. So I can associate 6 and 5 together and keep P on the outside. And 6 times 5 is 30, so my answer will be 30 times P, or you can just write 30P. Go ahead and take the time to pause the video, and you're going to try these on your own, again simplifying. Once you're done, click play to check your work. So letter A says simplifying the expression. This is a property of 0 because you're multiplying by 0. Remember, anytime you multiply by 0, it's going to be 0. 6 times 0 is 0, and I still have 0 times q, but 0 times q will still be 0. Letter B, again, simplifying the expression, except we're multiplying all this by 1. 3.6 times d is still going to be 3.6 times d, but times 1 is going to keep it the same, so you'll just keep it at 3.6 times d. The last one you can also try by yourself, so go ahead and pause, try it by yourself, and then click play when you're ready to check. Letter A will be 0, because you're multiplying everything by 0. Letter B will be A times 29, or you can write 29A. Since you're multiplying by 1, that's not going to change the value of these two numbers. And then the last one for letter C, adding 0 to something does not change the value either, so letter C will just be n plus 14. This is going to conclude our video on properties. Go ahead and rewind it if you need a little extra practice or reminding, and then get back to working on your homework for tonight. Thanks for tuning in.